How does this thing work? Oh, right. Is that a frame? That's a frame. It is Sunday. It is Coldwater, Michigan. And it is snowing outside. It's March 10th. It's pretty cool. I got a PDP. PDP, what could it be? Get that out of here. These legs are heavy. Some heads, probably. Oh. This is very efficiently packaged, if you can see that. Little Velcro sticky pillow. That's cool. What color we got? We got pink. This is the floor tom. 13-inch floor tom, I think. Wow, it's really in there. It's sparkly. Sweetwater was really cramming this thing down my throat on Facebook. Yeah, nice. Poplar shell, New Yorker, Pacific drums and percussion. This thing feels solid. Wood feels real cheap. Edges are not great at all. Indentations, that's not a good sign. Sweetwater was cramming this thing down my throat on Facebook, and I figured why not, so I went to Guitar Center and ordered it. Kind of didn't realize that I ordered it from Guitar Center instead of Sweetwater, but I do have a Guitar Center line of credit. That made it real easy. And it said pink sparkle, but for some reason online it looked just like a really flat pink color, which I thought was cooler. But I like sparkly drums. I have a champagne sparkle drum set that I love. This looks really nice. The wood feels super cheap. The hardware is tough. I just feel like they skimped on maybe the most important part. Oh, ha! A few notes about my last video. My buddy Sean, hey Sean, he said, man, Ian, your video is really long. I wanted to watch it, but man, it took forever. Well, guess what? This one's gonna be a lot longer. Strap in, Sean. This mount feels solid. Good weight to it. I'm already pretty disappointed in this wood, but maybe it won't affect the sound too much, even though it goes against everything we've ever been told about drums. Is that all that was in there? Nope. Whoa, we got sticks, 7A, super light. Wow, these are weird. It feels like the same crappy wood that drum's made out of, but I don't know, I'm getting more and more into smaller drums. You know, everybody has that 22-inch bass drum when they start, which is probably my least favorite. I don't even own one right now. I have two 18-inch bass drums. I have one 20-inch bass drum, which is, for me, I think ideal. And my 24, which I love, but man, don't really need it. Now I have a 16-inch bass drum that's in this box. What is this? I think this is some sort of bass drum riser. This looks weird. We'll figure that out when we get there. Bag full of hardware. Looks like all the heads, maybe? I did, today is Sunday. I got this, I think, on Monday or Tuesday, and I was sick. I actually called off work on Tuesday My student on Sunday after my last video said, I'm not feeling very well, I think I have a stomach bug. And then about Monday, maybe around noon while I was at work, it hit me. Powered through the day. We just started working 10-hour days, so 6 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. But it also allows me to have a 3-day weekend, so I'm totally about it. Especially in the winter when you can't go outside. But so I got this on like Monday, and I wanted to make a video, but I just wasn't feeling well. I did bust the box open just to see the color because I wasn't sure if it was going to be sparkly or not. It is sparkly. Pdp branded heads. It looks like they say Remo. Standard, whatever, cheapos that come with a new drum set, usually. This thing's packaged awesome. It was a lot heavier than I wanted it to be because I had to carry it up 2 flights of stairs to get in this room. But it keeps me strong. What do we have here? Oh, ho, ho. Can y'all see how that is? I don't know. Oh, I got this new, I'm trying to get more professional. So, I got, from the local Walmart, I got the Executive Ring Light. It's super cheap and super plasticky, but it's holding the phone right now. I haven't tried the light yet because, like I said, I've been sick and I've been working 10-hour days, lifting 100,000 pounds of steel every single freaking day. Yes. I don't own a 10-inch tom. Well, I guess I do on that little toy drum set that I use for teaching sometimes. This is dope. Tuned up real high. Sounds better than that one. It's got those same Remo UC drum head made by Remo in China. Tuned it pretty tight. Doesn't sound great. Probably would sound a lot better with better heads on it. Drum channel free drum lesson. Start your 10-day free trial. Use promo code DC10. That's pretty cool. Drum channel. Get some free drum lessons. Not bad. I think this drum set was like $500. I'm just really interested to see what a 16-inch kick feels like, sounds like, and if there's an application I could actually use it for. That's nice. They cut the rim out, so on my 18-inch bass drum, I have to use the little riser thing so I can put a normal pedal on there, because you ideally want to hit the drum right in the middle. And one thing that I run into constantly, and whenever I've shared it or used it for a backline, I can tell everyone else doesn't even know what to do because they end up just taking it off, is it doesn't line up perfectly with the hoop, and a lot of times the chain will rub on the hoop, but PDP was smart enough to cut this out so it gives you a little bit more play when you're dealing with that little bass drum and that riser angle, if that makes sense. I really should have brought my little pocket knife out of my car to do this, but I carried enough things upstairs today. It's a nice rim. It's got a really ugly seam right there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Looks like it's 7 or 8 ply. That's interesting. Let's see. Can we count the plies on this? 1, 2, 3, 4. Gets a little wonky up in there. I don't really know anything about this drum set. I was just a victim of advertising on Facebook. Okay. Got another little pink rim here. I do have to say, I loved the idea of a pink drum set, and I loved the way that the pink looked flat online. I am not in love with this sparkle, but maybe from a distance, I don't know. In the right angle, it looks more flat, but almost looks glitter like a cheap makeup kit or something. Like a cheap little Barbie doll, Bratz doll. sparkly. Does this tape needs to be so extreme? Who does this? I know there's a human being that puts this tape on here. Oh my goodness, I'll do that later. More cardboard. Oh, this must be the snare. It does come with a 14-inch snare drum, which is cool. That's everything in that box. How do I look? Stayed out too late playing pool last night. I didn't feel like getting dressed today, so I could get my Coldwater, Michigan sweatpants. Look, all right, this is all assembled. Fantastic. Hey, Sean, maybe this video won't be as long as I thought it would be. I thought I was gonna have to put all these drums together. Not bad right out the box. Sounds like a snare, a little ringing. PDP unbranded head on the bottom there. Well, I guess it's PDP branded, but it doesn't say Remo. It's already got some scratches. New Yorker, poplar shell. It's a nice looking badge. Can you see that? Remo head on top, UC. I don't know what UC means. I think it means it comes with your cheap drums. Cheap head that comes with your new drum set. Not bad. Throw off is a little, not great throw off, but for the price, what could you expect? I'm just happy that the shell pack came with its own snare. For $500 to get 4 drums. I mean, the shells don't feel great, but the hardware is perfect. It's amazing. Who knows how long that's been in the box? Sounds good. It's there's a stamp in here. There's a stamp in here. It says 202 space 3, and then some other things that I don't understand, and an H. I don't know what the H stands for. This is made in China. There's a cool, on the inside of the badge, there's a cool little sticker. It has a palm tree on it. PDP's, I think, a California company. Is that why it's Pacific? Because of that ocean over there. All right. Whoa. I did notice in my last video there's a lot of ambient noise, and there was a spike between my talking and my drumming, which is probably real annoying, especially if you're wearing headphones. I apologize for that. Probably run into the same issues in this video, but I do plan on ordering like a little lavalier mic to at least maybe get a more consistent audio sound for now. I also own an 8-channel interface and like a whole basically home studio, but I'm a hard-working man between teaching lessons on my days off and trying to enjoy myself. I don't have a lot of time to edit. Whoa! Damn, giant chunk missing out of the wood on this bearing edge right here. First thing I noticed. Wow, bummer. I mean, this wood is soft and terrible. But, ugh. So basically what makes a drum sound good is if the bearing edge is clean, either rounded or cut sharp. And that is like the Grand Canyon. That's the worst I've ever seen on a bearing edge before. That's really disappointing. I can also see a seam in the shell or something right here. Dang, I was really hoping to get a better quality, but for the price, I mean, all I really want this to do is go boom. I'm not trying to record this. If anything, it's gonna be a lightweight gigging option if it sounds good enough to play in a bar or something, or something fun to teach on. And I like to have different examples different size drums just to show people. And I don't really spend my money on anything else, so. Jeez, that is really disappointing how bad that edge is. Where is it? Yeah, oof. I mean, that right there is enough for me to want to just return this because they basically sold me a faulty instrument. Damn. That breaks my heart, but it's not going to hurt to put it together. See what it sounds like. The hardware is awesome. But, you know, I'm looking for sound quality, not good hardware. I really wanted this to be a really, you know, good sounding, fun little drum set, but damn, seeing that notch out of that just breaks my heart. That is cute as hell, though. Look at that little guy. A little wobbly there. All right. What do we have to assemble? 10-inch tom, good to go. Snare drum, good to go. Oh, gaff tape, you ever heard of it? If not, you should check it out. It is super expensive and super necessary. I got 2 rolls of this on Amazon, gafferpower.com. Seems like good gaff tape. Cost me almost $50 for 2 rolls, but it goes a long way. A lot of times, if I need it just to hold something down, I will just split it into a bunch of little different pieces. Use it just for just about anything. But most importantly, it helps dampen drums on the fly if something weird's going on. It's good for that. Taco Bell is good for sustenance. LaCroix is good for drinking. Oh yeah. Still not quite sure how this works, but oh, I see. Oh, that's rad. Okay. Okay. So on the bottom of the drum here, there is a little clamp, and this guy goes in there, and boom, that's that little bass drum riser for you. I need a drum key. We'll get back to this guy. This is the 13-inch floor tom. 13 by 12 maybe? I can't remember. Ring light, tripod is still holding the phone. Are we still rolling? I should probably check that. I didn't want to put it on selfie mode. We're at 18 minutes already. Sorry, Sean. Let's see, am I sitting in front of this drum? Behind it? Oh no, might have been out of frame a little bit there. Whatever. It's my YouTube channel. I can do whatever I want. I can be out of frame. This guy, Evans torque key. I love it. Quick on the go. Turn the little dial and it puts equal tension on every lug. I have my buddy Stuart in Austin, Texas. There's a weird noise. Oh, it's the heater. There's a weird heater in this building. You set this little dial, puts equal tension on all the lugs. It's also got this little nub on top, which I love for finger tightening. It makes it's a lot easier than finger tightening on the lug. You can just gotta twist that guy right there. Stuart Sykes produced a lot of music I recorded on, and he had a couple really great sounding drums, but they kind of had to be really perfect. And he literally would call me and be like, I have a session tomorrow, can you bring your little drum key in and tune up those drums for me? And worked pretty well, except for one time I didn't have it, and he's like, oh, you just came to use your ear to tune these drums? I thought you had your fancy little drum key. And I was like, sorry bro, it's at the practice space. But see how convenient it is to turn this? It's a lot better than kind of having to muscle it out there. So it looks like in shipping they put 2 lugs in to hold both of these rims on there. Oh, I think I might have brought, yeah, I can hear it already. I got this guy too, which is a little like ratchet style. So if you really gotta loosen stuff fast, oh man, that's a real good time saver. You know, the pros would be like, just get a drill bit, but I don't want to carry around a drill. Alright, I'm gonna save these right there. 1 rim, 2 rim. Let's check out the bearing edge here. There's a flat spot. Man, that is a bummer. Like I said, all these drums gotta do is go boom. I'm not gonna put really expensive microphones on them and get too picky about it. But I mean, they market this kit as like a New Yorker. If you're like a jazz guy, you want your drums to sound really good. It matters a lot more than if you're playing like pop or rock music, because it's a little more artistic. Oh, I'm gonna just do this. Bust it open and dump it out. Oh, that's cool. A little sticker to put on your little bass drum riser where the clamp goes. Claws, these feel pretty okay. They're cheap. Ooh. There's some stuff in here I've never seen before. What is going on with that? Oh, they're little replacement receivers? I don't know what you would call that. Little thing you screw the lug into. Oh, staple went through my finger. Dang. Drums are dangerous, y'all. Oh, yeah, this is gonna be a long video, Sean. We need some 13-inch drum heads. Was it Aquarian that, damn, I'm bleeding. I think it was Aquarian that had that ad where you can tell the difference. If you tap on an Aquarian drum, it sounds, or drum head, it sounds better. Okay, I'm gonna say this is the bottom because it doesn't say Remo on it. And this does say Remo on it, so it's gonna be the top. I'm also gonna say, I got blood on my brand new pink drum set. Oh well. These are where the legs are gonna go, so I'm gonna put those on the bottom. I'm gonna find the badge, and like any respectable human being drummer, I'm gonna line the logo up with the badge. Wow, I'm really bleeding. That's funny, usually it's this finger. I donate plasma at least once a week because it makes me extra money and it saves lives. And they have to prick your finger to test your blood to make sure all your levels are good before you donate. All right, so I'm gonna roughly line this up with the badge. I'm gonna take my rim. There's no difference in these, top or bottom. I'm not gonna go super in depth on this because there are a million YouTube videos talking about how to do this stuff. I already lost the washer. I'm gonna go as fast as I possibly can so Sean doesn't complain. There is an obvious top and bottom to these washers. One side is flat, that's gonna be the bottom. The other side is a little rounded and shiny. I'm gonna call that the top. I'm just going to put the washers in. And just get 1 or 2 threads so we know where we're at. At least they're all in there. I don't know if a top and bottom of a washer really matters, but since it's a thing that is obvious, I'm gonna stick with it. These little tension rods are, they're not my favorite kind. They're kind of rounded over. I like them more like squared off because ideally you're going to be tweaking on them, and if they're rounded then you're going to slip. And there's nothing worse than like slipping off, because as you can tell, this process takes forever and every little thing makes it harder, and we don't want to be frustrated, we want to be excited. So once I get every lug at least in, you can still play with the head a little bit. I double check it. I make sure that the logo is right in between the 2 lugs, because it will annoy the crap out of you if it's not. And I take this by my little nub here and just spin the crap out of it till it's finger tight. Everyone says do a star pattern. I could care less, especially when you're finger tightening. But you know, if you start on one side, there's blood everywhere. I guess that's a good way to break them in. I probably shouldn't return this drum set now that I have blood all over it. You do kind of want equal tension as it goes down, but it really doesn't matter, especially if the bearing edges look like a mountain range. That's disappointing, PDP. You can kind of double trouble it here with your fingers. So this is the part where the star pattern, you know, just go cross. If you go one side and then the other side's gonna loosen up, and it just helps to kind of put equal tension on it. A lot of times, because I do use this little nub on top of the key, finger tightening is almost too tight sometimes, especially on floor toms. I've noticed for some reason a lot of my drums like to just barely have tension on them to sit where I want them to. I mean, that's a drum. We can go around and just test it, but it's already not going to sound great because the bearing edges suck. There's a little wobbly in there, but I don't care right now. I'm not trying to fine tune this thing, or probably ever will. Once again, I always check the rim a little bit on both sides to make sure there's no anything crazy in there. Am I in frame? All right, logo's in the middle. Rim is on. Ooh, I can see the staple that cut me. It's staring me down. I don't know why. I'm in Coldwater, Michigan, but I did spend 12, 13 years in Austin, Texas. And I feel like being Texan today. Even though it's a New Yorker drum set, I can't do a New York accent. I've been in the city a handful of times, but not like Texas. Wow, that guy doesn't want to go in there. A lot of people will take like a white lithium grease, kind of dip the tip in there to help it flow. When drums are brand new, there's kind of like a little bit of oil usually on there from the manufacturer. So they do flow pretty quick. I think the oil or the grease is kind of more of a maintenance thing on older drums to make sure they keep threading smoothly. Yep, this is the life of a drummer, just sitting on the carpet in my sweatpants. Finger tightening. Finger tighten my tension rods on my new pink drum set with blood on it. I don't think I brought any caffeine with me today either, so. And here's one drum key, where's the other one? So many working parts. I lost it. I lost it. My shoe's untied. Oh, I'm gonna have to go old school and just use my fingers on this. Oh, I found it. Found it. Don't worry. All right. Spin, 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 finger tighten. Finger tightening up these lugs. I got a few other things besides this drum set too that I can open up in a minute. You might say, hey Ian, how do you get all this cool stuff all the time? Well, I work really hard and I'm building my credit, so I just put it all on the credit card. 3-day weekend though, what's up? You know, working 410s is pretty awesome. I do have a very physical job, but you know, once you're there for 8 hours, what's another 2 hours? I only have to drive to work and back 4 times a week now. And the company doesn't have to fire up all the machinery. Where are we at? Ooh, that's weird. Too tight. Like I said, just finger tightening both of these heads for floor tom. It's probably going to be a little bit tighter than I want it. I've learned over the years that I just barely need tension on the lugs to get the boom out of the floor tom I want. That sounds pretty good. There's no wobble. I mean, a little bit, but for what it is, I can put my thumb on it. Okay, I'm impressed. Here's another 13-inch tom. Oh, I tuned that up real high. Where's my other one? Over here? I mean, this one, I got for a little endorsement deal, so I didn't have that much money into it, but this is maple with reinforcement rings, Keller shells. Sounds about the same. This would probably cost, I don't know, $800 from a custom builder. That one costs about $100. That's not bad. Technology is improving, folks. I kind of like it. Where'd those legs go? Am I still in frame? For some reason my phone looks like it's crooked. Oh yeah. I like these legs. I mean, being that PDP is technically owned by DW, I believe. These are really solid. Really, I mean, it's a sharp right angle there. A lot of floor tom legs they come out at an angle like this. These just sit flat. Gives you a lot more real estate, a lot more stability. All right, this hardware's solid. Drum sounds good with cheap heads and finger tightening. Still a little bit worried about that bearing edge, but seeing as it's the bass drum and this 13 sounds that good already with all my blood on it. That's kind of my favorite thing about drums is they don't have to be in perfect condition. They don't have to be pretty. I mean, they're beautiful when they come right out the factory. But for me, it's way more about sound than aesthetics. And I like, you know, I like an instrument that's got some blood on it. Boom. That sounds great. floor tom. What does this one sound like? That's got the boom you want. Bow. This is little. That's a high 13. That's a low 13. That's a boingy 14. But that's my floor tom on my stencil kit. That sounds great. I don't know what they'll all sound like together, but oh, here's the 10. Sound like awesome drums. Let's get into the fun part now. This is going to be interesting with this bass drum. I cannot believe that there's no quality control that caught that. Because like I said, right out of the box, I was like, damn, that's a dent in the bearing edge, which is the most important thing to the sound. Because that's where the head makes contact, so if it's like an even surface, even tension, you're all good. When it starts to get wobbly and there's not even contact, oh, that's never a good sign. Alright, what do we got here? It's going to be the batter head. Not a bad sounding head. It's got a little dampener ring on it. It's real thick. It's got my blood on it already. Okay, same theory. The badge is on the side here on this drum. Can you see that? That's my gaff tape. I'm going to line up the logo with that mount there. This is going to be a little bit more labor intensive. Don't stab yourself with the staple. Let's see, I'm going to be creative. Here's the front head with my fucking blood on it already. I can't win. Oh, cool. Came with its own drum key. It's real basic, but that'll get the job done if you need it to. And it looks like it's concave to where it fits the key, these tension rods. It's a little tight fit, like how you remember when those bicycle pedals, they made the little nubs on the pedals that would fit right inside the waffle print on the Vans. I thought that was pretty genius. I don't know who did that, Primo or somebody? Alright, I haven't done this very often because I don't put together bass drums every day, but this is going to be the rim on the batter head. We got that little divot cut out, sort of chain. Huh. That looks pretty cool already. Take the tension rod. Take the washer, feed it through the claw, put the claw on the hoop, and once again, finger tight. Sorry, Sean. So Sean plays guitar in a little country outfit cover band thing I've been working with. We had a rehearsal on Friday, and it went really well. It was a lot of fun. I like these people, and I'm starting to become like kind of a fan of all these little country music songs. Maybe that's why I'm talking like a Texan. Got that Texas country music. Double scoot boogie. Oh yeah, but then our bass player said, well, Sean, I just watched it on 2 times fast. Because he's younger than all of us. We're all in our 40s and he is younger. And you kids, you got all the little YouTube hacks figured out. I can barely figure out a aspect ratio or whatever the hell. But I'm just doing this for fun. I'm hoping that some people maybe get some enjoyment, some education, and it gives me something to do. I'm an only child, so I don't mind talking to a phone. I kind of talked to nobody my whole life, so. I got the time, I got the technology, I got the credit card, I got the gear. Let's talk about it. I got nothing but time this winter. Man, it's beating me down. It's freaking snowing out. It's March 10th. It snowed on Halloween. It's snowing now. But then again, I was born in April in the middle of a blizzard, so can't happen. We haven't really had any snow that stuck besides like maybe once or twice. I feel bad for people that own snowblowers and snowmobiles and all that fun stuff. They gotta go way up north to use that crap. Not down here in southern Michigan. I've never really understood that, how you can live in southern Michigan and have a southern accent, or northern Indiana and have a southern accent. What is it, David Cross has a bit about that, I think. LaCroix, hydration, bubbles, good times. Yes, Sean, this does take forever. Looks like they give me some extra lugs for the 13. Don't eat that. It's pretty cool. I am super bummed about that bearing edge right out the box, but that 13 sounded good. My tripod's still holding the phone, so that's cool. It's got a bunch of different colors of lights. Maybe it's got that influencer purple or whatever the heck everybody uses. All right. Whoop. Finger tighten. Oh, you know what I didn't do is really seed the head on that 13. Is that what it's called? Seeding? I think. What you really want to do is kind of stretch it out. But I'll stretch it out when I hit it. A lot of times I'll, like if I'm putting on a new snare head, which is really like the most sensitive to tuning that I care about most of the time, and I just want it to sound real even. Not super like pingy or go wow or go boing. So I'll kind of, when I get it like this, I can either press on it like that, or I'll even, because I'm light enough, I can get on there with my knees and kind of work myself around. And you can really tell, like say with this guy, like I could just really kind of get in there. It cracks a little bit, but that's just the glue in the head. It's gonna affect the tuning because the head stretches. Can you hear how that sounds different? Yeah, that dropped in pitch real quick. So you want to do that maybe once or twice. Stretch the head out a little bit, crack any of that glue that's going to crack eventually by tuning anyway. It's not necessary, but your drum will go out of tune if you don't do that. I mean, living in Michigan this time of year, it's 65 degrees one day, it's 25 degrees the next. This stuff's all made out of wood. It changes a lot. Alright. As well as floor toms, finger tight's almost too tight on bass drums for me, but where are we at? Huh. It's really low. That's cool. It's almost got like an 808 kind of almost electronic vibe to it there. Oh. Now this is the point where you gotta decide, am I gonna muffle this drum? Because I know it's gonna need it, most likely. If it's a bass drum, it's 16 inches. Most of the music I play, I just want a good thump. More attack than anything. But I'm not gonna put it on there. Lately, gosh, there's blood all over this. Lately what I've been doing, and when I'm teaching lessons, is I'll just take my jacket or something, lean it up against the reso head or the batter head. A lot of times what I've been doing is sticking a little towel in between my bass drum and the head. It's been working great. So you don't necessarily need to mute it from the inside, you can mute it from the outside. Or muffle, mute, muffle, whatever. Ooh, all right. Once again, resonant head, line it up. This one is even more crucial because it's the only head that the audience can see or anyone else. I can't tell if there is a front or a back to this hoop. I don't think so. There's also going to be a seam, most likely. Yep, there's a seam right there. I'm going to put that on the bottom because that'll bug me if I can see it. And here we go again. Washer. Claw. Threaded. Yeah, so it came with these little guys that I think you could remove the lug and pop that in there if something strips out. That's nice. Little extra thing to be floating around in some stick bag or hardware case for the rest of my life that I'll probably never ever use, but I got it if I need it. Dang y'all, I am sleepy today. Sleepy, snowy Sunday in March. What did I do? Yesterday I went to the Detroit Institute of Art and I was thoroughly impressed. This kind of looks like shit. I don't like that. A lot of times rims will be kind of rounded over. This is real flat. Doesn't look very nice at all. You can see the different plies. There's discoloration. I'm gonna double check the other side. Detroit Institute of Art was awesome. No, it's just as ugly. Dang. They could have done something about that. Wait. That is beveled a little bit. Yep, this will be the top. I'm glad I checked. Am I just crazy? Yep. I'm gonna flip that over. Keeping sure my seam's at the bottom. There's print here, PDP, print down here, Remo. I'm gonna try and line everything up in between these two bottom lugs so it doesn't drive me crazy. I'm not even really that OCD, but it will just bother you, I promise. Every single drummer. I have gone through phases where I'll put it on an angle just because I'm kind of a shithead sometimes, but I'm old now. I want things to look more classic and not try and, I got nothing to prove, you know what I'm saying? I'll tell you what, when I lived in Texas, I had something to prove, and I felt like I proved it. And that's why I moved back to Michigan, because I didn't really think that there was much more I could do. It felt like I kind of topped out in that city, but COVID didn't help. Protests were getting really weird. People were getting shot in the streets. Back to small town Michigan for me. I kind of like it. I get bored a lot, but I like it. I like being with my family. Spent a lot of years on the road away from my family. And God, I wish there wasn't blood on there. Feels really good. Be back home with the folks. They're like in their 70s almost, kinda, yeah. Nothing wrong with getting a little family time in. Take a break from being a rock and roll party animal. Is that lined up? That looks good. Oh, how's it gonna sound though? We'll see. I have a feeling it's gonna be a little bouncy, seeing as there's no holes in this head, which I probably was kind of thinking about getting the, I think DW, somebody makes them where there's little holes all the way around, because that air's gotta go somewhere, especially if I'm trying to play like pop or rock music on this. That's sitting really low. Huh. That looks odd. Normally these lugs stick out a little bit more. These are threading really low. Like there's no clearance on the rim. Yeah, see this You can't see, but I got other drums in here and they all stick out a little bit. Let's go finger tight real quick on these. It sounds nice and dead. I guess it's kind of on the carpet though too. Probably not gonna get a lot of tone with the Rocky Mountain Range bearing edges there. Okay, I'm gonna pull these legs out already. Tighten these. I like to have the spikes all the way out when I'm on carpet. That rubber feels real cheap. That's like hard plastic. That's not rubber at all. That's not gonna do you any good on a hard surface. A lot of times with these guys, I'll kind of use my hand as a guide. That way it sits kind of level. A little bit further. All right, this hardware feels great. Let's see. I mean, aesthetically, it looks cool. Not bad. It's a lot better than I thought. It's tuned real low. That sounds good. That is my first opinion. Stick this guy in here. Some props. Can you guys see that? Probably not. So there's that clamp. I'm gonna slide this guy in there. Nice and level. Raises it up a little bit. It makes me want to, I'm gonna bring the legs up some more. I like to have a little pitch to where, yeah, I'm just gonna pull these legs all the way out. It feels like they catch so they won't come out all the way. I'd rather have the bass drum tilted back towards me a little bit than the opposite. Yeah, we're getting there, folks. All right, before I go any further, let's see what else I got in this box here. Gaff tape, necessity. This guy, Gibraltar. This little bass drum spurs I got because my the old vintage stencil kit, those legs are trash and this will really hold it in place. Just clamps on the rim. I was watching a YouTube video from, I think his name's R. David R. He's got some fun content and he suggested that being a necessity if you have like a vintage old set with crappy legs. So I was like, hell yeah. Yep. Oh, this is also from Pdp. Gravity Series Round Throne. 13-inch round padded seat with X-brace medium weight tubing, height adjustment, memory lock, double brace legs, oversized anti-slip feet. You can never have too many thrones. Now that I have like 5 drum sets, I like to have enough stuff for everything. It's gray, weird. Thought for sure it would be black. It's real squishy. This feels built well. Under penalty of law, this tag may not be removed except by the consumer. Alright. Drum Workshop, 1 month, 24 year. What? Oh, that must have been when it was made. That's it for this box. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, and boys and girls, and other people. Tube. Yeah. Wow. This might be better than the other PDP throne I have. I think it's up here somewhere. Solid. Wow, it's nice and lubed up. There's some grease on there already. It feels solid.